there's things that I'm able to do now that I couldn't do for my kids when they was growing up. When I had my children, I didn't have much money. I went through a divorce, and it was just hard times, baby. By the grace of God, I was able to feed them, clothe them, and put a roof over their head. And so every now and then we would go, like to the zoo or to the park, and most of those things was free because I had 3 of them. And I just could not afford, to pay for them all at the same time. It depended on what it was. So anyway, baby, by the time my grandkids got here, their children, grandma, had a little extra change. And so, I didn't have no little babies and mouths to feed. So, I really was excited about my grandchildren, so I would go overboard and spoil them. And I'm sure part of that is because, there was things I just couldn't do for my kids when they was growing up. So I try to make up for it through my grandchildren. I'm sure a lot of y'all grandmamas do that. I know you do. And so, baby, I take some to Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, to the water parks. You name it. They be everywhere, baby. They get all kinds of gifts, video games, and whatever I can think of, baby, I'll do it. I got them stocks and bonds too, So grandma just think like that, because my Bible say a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. So I try to do right by them, but you know what? The funny thing is, my kids look at me and they like, Mama, you just spoiling them. You're spoiling them. I said, yeah, I understand. I said, but I'm happy to spoil them. They said, Mama, you didn't do us like that. And I realized right then and there that they was jealous. They was jealous, even though they was happy that their kids were being blessed. They was a little jealous because I wasn't able to do it. I said, well, y'all know I didn't have no money back then. And they said, we understand, Mom, we understand. But I guess that's the running joke. Every time I find something to do, for them, they get a little jealous. You ain't get me nothing. What you get me for my birthday? I'm going to get you what I got you last year, nothing. Because everything I buy now go to my grandkids. I'll get you a card. I might throw up for a couple dollars in it. But when it comes to my grandkids, baby, get out of my way.